Hi, my name is Amarualik and I'm a singer, songwriter, and a recording artist from Igloolik, Nunavut. Before we begin, please note that this video was only created to provide overall guidance, not personal advice. If you have any specific questions, please contact a professional bookkeeper, accountant, or tax consultant. For many artists, financial management may seem boring, unimportant, confusing, and even frustrating. However, dealing with money is extremely important for professional artists. Today, we're going to simplify this topic and share some tips to get you started on the road to financial success. We'll talk about bookkeeping, accounting, and taxes and show you the best ways for artists to deal with each one in everyday life. Let's start with bookkeeping. First of all, if you want to become a professional artist, you must treat your music as if it's a business, not just a hobby. This means thinking about you and your music business as two separate things and ideally setting up separate bank accounts for each one. In your business, your fans are the customers, and you make money whenever these customers buy your albums, merchandise, and tickets to your shows. You also make money indirectly through sponsorship, licensing, and royalties. For more information, see the previous episode called How Do I Make a Living as an Artist? Every time a customer pays you, you need to provide them with a receipt or proof of payment. Likewise, whenever you spend money to grow your music business, you should get a receipt as proof of payment. You will need both kinds of receipt for accounting and taxes. Bookkeeping is simply the process of collecting, keeping, and organizing all of these receipts. You can do your own bookkeeping by stuffing receipts in a shoebox, taking pictures of them on your phone, or downloading an app like QuickBooks, FreshBooks, Xero, or Bonsai. Whatever way you choose, make sure to collect your music business receipts. That's the most important advice we can give you in this video. Okay, next, let's talk about accounting. Basically, accounting is the process of figuring out how much money you made, how much money you spent, and how much profit is left over at the end of the year. To do this, go through all of your receipts and put them into the earned pile or the spent pile. Add up all the money you earned and subtract all the money you spent. Please note that only money spent in the business of making music can be used here, and there are very specific rules about what counts. For example, you can use the receipt for instruments, studio time, producer fees, and touring flights. But you can't use receipts for things like groceries, TVs, or cars since they have nothing to do with your music business. The details will change depending on your situation, so please ask a professional for details about what counts. Musicians should have a basic understanding of accounting, but there are many professionals who can help, like bankers, bookkeepers, accountants, and tax consultants. I know there may be few people like that here in Nunavut, but you can always call your local community economic development officer to get started. Finally, let's talk about taxes. Whenever anybody makes money, the CRA collects a small part of that money as taxes to help pay for things like hospitals, schools, roads, and other important infrastructure. People with normal jobs get regular paychecks and their employer automatically takes off the tax before they give their money. However, since professional artists are either considered freelancers or small business owners by CRA, you, the business owner, are responsible for telling CRA about your profits and paying those taxes yourself. The amount of tax you pay is based on how much profit you've made during the year. The less profit you make, the less taxes you pay. In fact, if you make less than $10,000 on music, there's no tax at all, although you still have to file your taxes with CRA. It is important to be honest because CRA does not mess around when it comes to getting paid. If you lie to them about how much money you made, that's called fraud and it's illegal. This is why sometimes you hear about pop stars who go broke after selling millions of records. Now, the good news is that CRA understands that artists doesn't always know how to file taxes correctly. They also know that most artists starting out don't owe a lot of taxes since their income from music is relatively low. They're probably not going to come after you unless you're making a lot of money, but it's still important to understand how the system works, not only for music, but for your life in general. If your receipts are collected and organized throughout the year, then taxes will be very easy. You'll know exactly how much you made, how much you spent, and how much profit you paid taxes on. In fact, if you're using the QuickBooks app, then you can directly file your own taxes using TurboTax Canada in just a few minutes. For most people, the deadline to file your taxes every year is by April 30, but freelancers have until mid-June to file their returns. Again, if you are unsure about how to file your taxes alone, it's best to talk to a professional. These people understand the system inside and out and will be able to help you. If you can't afford to hire a bookkeeper, accountant, or tax consultant, you can call your local community economic development officers or visit the free tax clinics in your community. In Nunavut, this would be CRA's Northern Service Center in Iqaluit. They can be reached at 1-866-426-1527. Even though artists love music, it's important to be realistic about how to make money. This is why in the beginning, most artists work a regular day job in order to help pay the bills as they're getting started. One big benefit of doing this is that the company you work for contributes towards your Canada pension plan and employment insurance. These accounts can be a very valuable safety net for retirement planning or during times when you are not able to work. If you earn money from a regular job and freelance as an artist, then you still need to tell CRA about your money you're making from music and declare it on your annual taxes. I know this video is supposed to be about money and taxes, but I want to add a quick word about contracts. You see, sometimes the line between employee and freelancer can be blurry. For example, if you're going on a tour for a label, are you a freelancer or an employee of the label? The answer will affect you how you should do your taxes, which is why it's important to always have a contract for any work that you do. If you're an employee, the document would be an employment contract. If you're a freelancer working on a specific project, this would be a service contract. The contract can help you figure out if you're an employee or freelancer, so make sure you understand any agreement that you sign and have someone help you review it if you don't. The Canadian tax laws are extremely complex and there are many examples of unique tax situations that you might need to take into account, pun intended. For example, if you're a full-time student, you should declare any scholarships you've received. If you were unable to work during COVID-19, you should declare any pandemic-related benefits like CERB or EI. If you've received any grants or funding, and you should receive a T4A form and guidelines on how to declare the income from the funder. If you're Indigenous and made money on the reserve, your income tax may be exempt. If you're on social assistance, this needs to be declared but will not be taxed. As you can see, everyone's tax situations are unique and specific to them, so try to consult a professional about your situation. That being said, here are a few things you can do to make the process easier right away. 1. Always collect your music business receipts. This is the most important thing. 2. Separate your personal and music business finances by getting separate bank accounts. 3. Use a bookkeeping app like QuickBooks, FreshBooks, Xero, or Bonsai. 4. Always make sure to have a contract signed for any work that you do. We believe you're capable of understanding taxes and having an amazing music career, and we hope you found this episode helpful. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or if you'd like additional resources, please go to www.hitmakerz.com/Alianait. Kuya namig.